What makes Gacha Force unique? Rare games are an interesting breed. Some are promotional products, and others are cult classics that just didn't get enough marketing to truly hit their peak. Gacha Force was developed by Capcom and released in 2003. Despite abysmal sales numbers close to a mere 30,000 units, the game prices have continued to explode, well over $150 for just the disc alone. Critics did not like the game, with an average rating of 5 out of 10, making it barely passable, but fans on the other hand have taken a shine to the game's weirdness and rate it far more favorably. The cult following was so huge that in 2012, 9 years after its initial release, Capcom released a second run in Japan in hopes to create a sequel that sadly never came to fruition. Not only did fans love the game, but even Capcom themselves had loved what they created, with a very active website full of concept art and videos and pictures of developers messing around in the game. What makes Gacha Force unique is its theming and simplicity that takes its chaotic gameplay and harnesses it into a fun escape, kinda like a classic Saturday morning cartoon. The premise of Gacha Force is designed to be a cash grab. Tiny robots about the size of 1/8 action figures have landed on Earth in order to stop the uprising of the Death Force. These tiny robots are called Gachaborgs, and the team dedicated to stopping the intergalactic threat of the Death Force is known as Gacha Force. The player plays as Ko, although they can be renamed, and upon meeting their first Gachaborg, G-Red, they become a GF commander, who is capable of sharing their GF energy with Gachaborgs in order to help them stop the Death Force invaders. Throughout the game, players meet up with other neighborhood friends who have also found their own Gachaborg companions. Some are friendly, some are the local bullies, and others may have gotten corrupted by the Death Force. The story is cheesy, simple, but effective for a younger audience, with a small handful of full animated cutscenes and some cheesy voice acting.
You're no match for me!
It's almost as if the game was expected to have a full line of tie-in media. Even with its corny Saturday morning cartoon storytelling, it has a certain charm to it among fans, eliciting a sense of nostalgia of earlier times, where the story didn't need to be deep or complex, but tell a lighthearted tale with great music, cool characters, and of course, fast-paced action. The gameplay is where Gacha Force both shines and flounders. It is the crux of most of the critiques, but fans love it, while critics despise it. The controls are simple. A jumps, B and X attack, and L and R change target. Some attacks can be charged up when holding the respective button, and when close to enemies, the B button can also be used to melee attack. Children can button mash their way through the game with these simple controls, but with some time and attention, players can maximize their damage output while swiftly dodging waves of enemy attacks. The best part, however, is how these simple controls can be spread across all the different Gachaborgs throughout the game, creating insane variety. With over 200 different Gachaborgs to collect, collecting all of them requires hours of playtime and a lot of luck. Borgs can even have alternate colors and appearances, making the collecting process seem endless. Gachaborgs come in all kinds of different shapes and styles. Robots, ninjas, samurai, airplane, fortresses, dragons, knights, tanks, and even more. Players have a lot of options while playing the game, and likely will favor a certain style of Borg, with many of their nuances being the deciding factor. Airplane Borgs can be played like an airplane, flying over and making sweeping attacks to the battlefield, whereas knights and samurais generally like to fight in close quarters. There truly is something for everyone. With so many options, it's insane to see the game not receive more advertising. It could have gone on to have a whole anime and toy line to sell around the world. There was a short-lived toy and manga line in Japan, but even then it was extremely rare. Despite the game's main gripe of oversimplified, flashy gameplay that never really evolves, taking the time to collect many of the Gachaborgs and playing around with their unique skill sets is a satisfying experience, and even veterans will have trouble in the later levels of the arcade and story modes. With the lighthearted, feel-good, albeit cheesy, story, Gacha Force will be remembered by merely a handful of dedicated fans, but it surely won't be forgotten. That is what makes Gacha Force unique. If you enjoyed this video, click that like button, and if you'd like to see more videos that discuss what makes any video game stand out, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.